Facebook land. So, welcome to Vacations Live. I am Mandy Horn of Global Dream Vacations and the Traveling Compass, and with me today is Laura Elmore, the fabulous, fabulous owner of Global Dream Vacations, and we are so excited to get to be with you today. There's so much going on in the world, and we're all eager to get out and travel again. And one of our most requested options as travel agents is Disney and what's coming next for Disney and how to do our next Disney trip. And so Laura is a grandma extraordinaire. And today we are going to be talking about 5 tips, the best tips for grandparents wanting to go to Disney World. Like, what does that look like? Because it's very different than maybe just, a parent or how someone else might look at it. And so we're going to get Laura's take today on how you make that trip special and her best tips and tricks. And she has a million. I'm always learning from her. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So with that in mind, Laura, we would love to hear your tips for, very first tip for what is great about 5 tips for taking, your grandkids, which you've done, to Disney World.
I think the most important thing for me is that Disney offers something for everyone. I've taken grandchildren of wide age range. I have from 3 up to 16. And there's something for everyone, including the adults. And one of the things that I love is that everyone can enjoy the experience and be together, but we don't have to stay together the entire time. In other words, we can split up and go separate paths. Some of the rides that the older kids are going to ride really are not appropriate for the younger children. So we plan ahead for having times that everyone can do what interests them most, and then other times that we can all come back together as a group. As grandma, and the person usually organizing and, frankly, paying for the trip, I lay down a couple of ground rules up front, one of which is that every night we're going to have dinner together. And other meals, we may not all be together, but I always want to have dinner together as a group. It's an opportunity for us to enjoy that time, to share what we've been doing all day. And then before and after, we may go our separate ways, or we may be together. The other thing is there's a couple of key photo opportunities that I always factor into the situation and want everybody together for those. And the kids are told up front, just frankly, suck it up. And this is Grandma's pay for the trip, is partially having those photos. And nobody really minds. The older kids like to give me a hard time sometimes.
Well, and one of the best things about Disney, a lot of grandparents may not realize, is they have a special photo package to make that happen. So Memory Maker is something we always recommend for groups, because you can have Disney's fabulous photographers who are stationed throughout all of the parks, and literally the package allows you to get all of those downloads at the end of your trip. So Grandma doesn't have to carry a camera. Grandma doesn't have to worry about what's going on. Those Disney photographers with their really, really nice equipment are going to take those family photos, and you're going to be able to download them at the end of the trip if you add Memory Maker to your package.
And the nice thing about that is then everybody's in the photo. Obviously, we're all still snapping photos with our own phones, but you inevitably end up, and usually so having those photos by Disney, it also includes, and sometimes there's some of the funniest photos, is that when you're riding the rides, they snap some photos. I've got one of the favorite photos that we all had from a couple of years ago, was doing the, what's the one that's Splash Mountain?
Yes.
And Ivan, who was 4 at the time, was seated in the front, and the look on his face as he hit the water, they captured it on film, and it's priceless because it's a combination of thrill and terror mixed into one.
Yeah, we have one of those too from my son's trip. He does not like roller coasters, but he loved Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's the first roller coaster he ever really liked. And they actually Disney at the time made like a video montage of pictures from that ride that we got as part of Memory Maker. And they have a photo of my son with the biggest grin going down the steepest part of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. And I love that photo for what it represents for him at that time period and growing up. And it's priceless. I mean, it really is. And Memory Maker is such a good deal in one sense for that. Like, I didn't take that photo. No way I could have taken that photo on a ride. But I have that moment, and to this day, he still talks about what a cool ride that is. And so it's just a really precious. It's the moment. I think that sometimes too, it's the moments you didn't know were going to happen that Disney captures, like Splash Mountain. I had no idea Ivan was going to make that face, and Disney captures it. Right, and then you get then you don't even have to worry. It's already included. You know you're already going to get that, and that's part of what makes it just so precious.
Lost you there for a minute.
Yeah.
So yes,
technology is great.
The Memory Maker is fabulous. And then at the end of the trip, one of the things I always do, whether it is Disney or any trip that I take, I enjoy taking all of the photos. You know, you download the photos that Disney did, and then our own photos that we share with each other, and then I put them into a book.
That's a great
I like
tip.
to Shutterfly. Mm-hmm. And every trip we've done through the years, we have a Shutterfly book of whether it was a trip to London that I took with my husband or the Disney cruise with the 4-year-old. We have those memories to look back on that are tangible and we can see.
Yeah, you know what? My kids spend a week with their grandparents in the summertime, and my mom always makes a book for the kids, and they absolutely love that book. It's one of their favorite things is the book that Grandma makes from the time that they have together during that week. They still get them out. They still talk about them. It's a really precious memory. I think sometimes we think photo books are a little old school or retro, but for kids like who love that concrete, their whole world is digital. So to have a book that they get to handle is really cool. It's a really fun memory for them.
Yeah, and that's something that I always try to do.
Oh, awesome. So so Memory Maker, get those people in the photo. That's a big tip.
Planning in advance. And to me, that's one of the keys. And I'm a planner. Have always been a planner. That's part of why I love being a travel advisor is I get to plan for other people. And that's one of the benefits of working with a certified Disney planner from my standpoint. Occasionally people will ask me, well, why shouldn't I just buy it myself online? And then once they start looking at all, and I start pointing out dining reservations and fast pass reservations and what order are you going to do the parks and what about this and what about that, suddenly they glaze over and say, I had no idea there were that many features involved. And to get the most out of Disney, I mean, let's be honest, Disney's not inexpensive. Nope. It's not the cheapest place to go. But hands down, of all the places that I've gone with my grandchildren, I've gone a lot. It is one of the most powerful experiences because Disney is just superlative. Disney is the gold standard in the world. I mean, even to the point that in other professions through the years, before I was a travel advisor, corporations would bring Disney trainers in to train in customer service because they are considered the gold standard. So it's really wonderful to enjoy all of that, but to suddenly do all of this trip and then say, gosh, we missed having dinner in the castle. or we missed having the opportunity to do certain things that suddenly people say, all of this time that we spent and we didn't get the things we wanted most. The other thing on the planning is allowing enough time. As you and I both know, occasionally people are surprised to get the maximum benefit out of the trip. You really need to start about 9 months in advance or a year. We're starting now, we're waiting in June for things to open up for next year. And the minute it opens, I know you do and I do too, I have a list of people to contact.
Our Mickey list.
Yes, our Mickey list. And because the dining needs to be arranged far enough in advance to get the reservations you want, the fast passes have a certain time frame to be arranged. Now, another key tip to me is staying on site with my family. Again, there's pros and cons to staying in Disney or not in Disney. Sometimes people are surprised if they haven't been to Disney. It's the size of Manhattan Island. Yeah. And it's not like, let's just, drive a couple of minutes and go to another hotel or a restaurant. Once you're in Disney, you're kind of in its own world. Yeah. And by staying in a Disney resort or hotel, there's so many benefits. First of all, you're surrounded by the magic the whole time.
The bubble.
I like that, the bubble. From the time we arrive at the airport in Orlando and get on the Disney bus, we are immersed in Disney. And everything that we are experiencing, even the transportation from the hotel to the resort, to the parks. I like to stay with younger children at a hotel that has the monorail available. And back to our youngest grandson, the first time he rode the monorail, made up a monorail song that he still sings to this day. We've got a monorail song because just the monorail itself was magical. But the convenience of being able to do that, to have the seamless transportation provided, is an incredible benefit.
Well, and I think what most people don't realize when you say, we love being in the bubble. I think sometimes people think oh, you mean you want it themed, like I'm living in a cartoon. And I don't like living in some people don't necessarily like all the cutesy things. Some people love all the theme, but some people don't. But actually what we mean specifically for grandparents is the convenience.
Yes.
And what you said, that seamless factor that on-site Disney provides makes it so easy for you and so easy for a group, to get around, to have, like you said, the transportation from the airport. And it's a quality level of service, more than just everything is themed and it feels magical. Well, more so, they are experts at families. And so if you're traveling with your squad and your grandkids, and whether you're a grandparent by yourself, which is a whole different ballgame, or whether you're you're traveling with multiple families because you're bringing in everybody, they have a way to make it happen and they're used to it. I don't think a lot of people realize there's some places in the world, like in Europe, it's very hard to get around with a large, if you're traveling with 20 people, it's difficult. The transportation is something we handle really carefully when we do that. But Disney's built for it. They are built for multiple families going together. They're built for, even at restaurants. It's hard to find somewhere in Europe where you can seat 20 people together, and Disney does it every day. So I guess I just wanted to make sure, our viewers or your travelers would understand, it's not just there's going to be Mickey on the wall. Yeah, no. I know at least the older I get, the more I value convenience and somebody taking care of it, because as a grandparent, I want to be, if I was a grandparent, which I would kind of like to be and not have little kids right now. If I was, I would want to be spending time with my family, watching their faces.
Yes.
Doing all of that, not worried about okay, we had to get 3 cars because we couldn't all fit in one. Did Bob get his car? Did we need car seat? Disney just takes care of it. And I think for grandparents, that is a huge benefit of staying on site.
And yes, you're not looking at a map or a GPS or wondering, where am I going? There's always someone available to answer questions, to direct you. The other thing is the convenience of staying on site for me is that in our plans, we always try to factor in the middle of the day, getting a break. Now, with the older kids, that sometimes means, okay, you guys go do what you want to do, and we're going to meet you at this time at this spot. But especially with the younger kids, and frankly me, by the middle of the day, Grandma's tired.
That's the hottest part of the day in Orlando.
Yeah. Disney is a lot of walking and a lot of energy because of the excitement and the enjoyment. So in the middle of the day, Grandma goes back to the hotel. And whatever kids want to go, we go back and take a swim, cool off, and take a nap. And then we can go back to the park and or maybe go to a different park. Sometimes we'll spend the morning in Magic Kingdom, and in the evening we'll go to Animal Kingdom, and mix it up. And that way, the other factor of that too is like when we go, the adults, like in our situation, the last trip that we took, it was with my kids that had the youngest grandchildren, and Mom and Dad wanted to do a lot of the new Star Wars things and the new things at Hollywood Studios that were not for the younger children. So Mom and Dad got up early in the morning, and I got the little kids up, got them dressed. We had a quick breakfast, and then we were able to take the transportation and meet them, and they met us at the entry to the park.
Yeah. Sorry, this is the joy of live video in quarantine.
There you go. I love it. We've got one of the sweeties.
Yeah.
And that's nice, because that means that the younger children and I can get more rest, but then they can have the experience. And even that, having the strollers for Grandma to deal with getting the kids on and off the transportation and the strollers. Again, having the Disney transportation, I don't have to get in and out of the strollers, up and down, in and out of the cars, because that's not Grandma's strength.
Yeah.
Disney helps and takes care of that.
It's and that is, you never have, I guess one of the great things about Disney is you never have to worry about, like, what am I going to do by myself? Because because they always, they're, even as a mom, if somebody, I always feel that somewhat panicked moment if I'm by myself and I'm outnumbered, right, with my kids. How can I take care of everyone? And to really, Disney's so great at anticipating your needs. And I think it's what you didn't even know was going to happen, like the whole stroller thing. Like, I may struggle to get my stroller on and off by myself, and a cast member is going to help me with that. I know I was shocked at Disney when we were last there. They have these free buttons you can get, like if it's your first time or whatever. And we had asked the front desk for one, and that they were out. They didn't have any. And I was like, oh, it's fine. We'll get one later. We were late getting to the parks. And so we were, hustling to get out to the transportation buses. And all of a sudden I see the front desk gal, running, sprinting, holding buttons. And she's coming down, and she's like, hey, I know you really wanted these. I knew our gift shop had them, but it wasn't open yet. So I got the manager to let me in, grabbed you some buttons. I was trying to get to you before you got on the bus, here.
For heaven's sakes.
And as a mom, I obviously can't stay back looking for buttons while my kids need to be, I have to be with my kids, and we're trying to get going, and I'm in a hurry. But you knew what I needed before I needed it, and took the time to do it. And that's what I love. I think even as a parent or as a grandparent is that ability to go, oh, somebody's going to help.
Yes.
So they are trying to help you have a good time, and they know that kids require a lot. Even at their check-in desks at the Disney on-site hotels have little TVs, going in the lobby. They were playing those cartoons. Well, what did my kids do while we were going through the check-in process? They sit down in the little chairs designed for them and start watching the cartoons. Well, as a mom, how much stress does that take off of me trying to keep them from running around the lobby, climbing the walls, doing, losing them while we're trying to check in? Disney already knew.
Yes.
They already knew that we would need that. So I think that's such a special thing as a grandparent too. When you are doing this, it's expensive. Like you said, it's not cheap. So you want that level of quality experience. I'm here to enjoy my family and have a great time, and you're already removing obstacles that are difficult for me.
And the fact that because it is family oriented, and I appreciate there may be some meltdowns along the way. And, the staff is beautiful at handling that. We had a situation that I observed with someone else, that a little girl was having a meltdown about something, and one of the staff members stepped in and blew some bubbles and got her laughing and helped diffuse the situation. And it's so nice to see and to feel comfortable with the fact that, you don't have all of that tension going on of, oh my God, the kid's melting down and everybody's looking, and hey, it's Disney, it's family, they're going to help.
Yeah, well, and Disney's so accommodating.
Yes, and speaking of accommodating, that is another thing that I appreciate greatly. We always do the meal plan. And again, the convenience of being able to eat meals at Disney and not have to leave the park to try to get meals. With the meal plan, it's seamless. You don't have to think about it. We're not having to have mom and dad looking at the menu telling the kids, now you can only order this or you can only order that. By having the meal plan and having certain meals that are included, they're already paid for and covered, it makes it so much more relaxed for everyone to have the joy of the experience and let the kids get what they want to eat without having to ride herd on it. The only problem that we have ever had with the meal plan, frankly, is sometimes by the end of the trip, using it all up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it becomes, gosh, the meals are so great and there's so much available that suddenly your snack credits at the end of the trip, you're saying, I'm going to have to use these for some things to take home with me. Because
I have a lot of clients to get the extra food for the plane.
Yeah, and food for the plane, or we do it that we bring it back to family members as a gift.
As souvenirs.
That and the accommodation too. I have a serious allergy to fish and seafood. I mean, talking grandma's going to quit breathing and everybody's going to have a bad day. Having the ambulance called in the middle of dinner just doesn't make for enjoyment. And Disney is so fantastic, whether it's gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, fish and seafood. When it's in the record, I mean, it just overwhelms me. I mean, that every time we sit down to a meal, that they have it in the record. They'll say, now, which one of you has the fish and seafood allergy? And I raise my hand, and they'll say, okay, well, we'll have the chef come discuss with you. And here comes someone from the kitchen staff or the chef saying, okay, now here's the things that you need. And it's just amazing. Yeah. And it makes life so much easier in today's world with so many people being cautious about their diet for various reasons. There is something for everyone, and there's no need to worry and to fret. The same thing is true. I have a great appreciation for the fact that they are very autism aware. They have their staff all trained. Every time I've been at Disney the last few years, I have observed and seen families that were being accommodated. I have 2 nephews that are on the autism spectrum, so I have a great appreciation for the fact that whether it's children that are wheelchair bound or children that have some developmental things like autism, Disney can work with all of that, and they don't make them feel different. Mm-hmm. They don't make them feel like, oh, well, you're not part of this.
Yeah.
They are so inclusive and so welcoming, and I love that.
And I think that's something too. A Disney planner, I mean, which we both are. We both are Disney specialists, specializing in Disney, and that's something we help with too. Like for a grandparent who might be overwhelmed, saying like, I have grandchildren with different needs. Like we can walk you through. Okay, what do we do to accommodate the food? The food allergies. Like this is what you'll need to do to have that work. What do we need to do to, to work with the disability or a child who may have some sensory things going on? What does that look like? And we actually build that into your planning, as well as the steps of what you need to do when you first arrive to help with that. If that's overwhelming, I think to a grandparent, a Disney planner is great for that because we'll walk you through all of it. We've done it. We do it all the time. And we're used to it, even if you're not. And I know too with Disney, sometimes I've had clients be like, okay, but can they really handle it? Because like with you have allergies, and we've actually traveled together. So I've been there when we're going to different restaurants, and you're going, hey, I can't have this, or whatever. People with allergies, food allergies, often go, okay, people say they can handle food allergies, but then they don't really know what to do. Disney is one of the few places I've ever seen that really, truly can handle complicated allergy situations. Or really, truly works with sensory issues with kids to meet them on their level, to make that work in a different way than I think some other places are like, oh yeah, we're friendly. Like Disney's taken it to the next level. Nope, you really can go here. I know I had a client last summer who had very complicated allergies. Her child had at least 3 to 4 interacting allergies with hard ingredients, corn, soy, I think, and strawberries and something else. And so the poor kid's terrified to eat anything. So always eats the same things. And they really wanted to do a fireworks park. They really wanted to do a fireworks dessert night. They wanted to do the big show and all of that. And mom was really scared. And they made a special dessert just for him with only, the things that he could eat, and it sold her on Disney. I mean, because it was the only place she thought feels like really in the world I can go and have this magical experience and know my kid's going to be okay. And my kid felt included, and my kid wasn't scared because they knew that this was just for him. So it really is a truly accommodating atmosphere in a different way than many other places are.
Yes, it's not just lip service. Yeah. It's real. And again, I think that makes it so much easier for whoever's doing the planning.
Yeah. I think you've had so many great tips to recap. You've talked about making sure that you take, working in your schedule to take breaks and to have family time, a dinner time set at the end of the day, making it work for the whole group. As part of that, second tip, doing a meal plan to make it easy on the payment, and just have none of it. People aren't worrying about what stuff costs and what they're ordering. Staying on site was a big, number 3 tip, because of the convenience and benefits you get. 4, making sure that you get Memory Maker, right, and get all those favorite family photos. And 5, really truly planning ahead of time. And making sure that, you're doing that either with a planner or with a whole lot of information for all of the stuff that's going to be involved. Disney's a long planning cycle, longer than we see on some other things. And really putting that effort in. And if you don't want to put that effort in, letting a planner take that off your plate, and helping you. So.
And along those lines, I'd say, too, a lot of times people don't realize it's not costing them money to have the benefit of the services of a planner, that we are available to them. Disney pays us. Mm-hmm. So the benefit of our knowledge, our expertise, our time, I know many times you're up in the wee hours of the morning to get those fast passes and those dining reservations and those things done for our clients. We both do that. And that means the clients can relax and know that they are going to have the time of their lives and enjoy this special memory and come home. It's like my little guys are here with me right now for a few days. And anytime a Disney movie, the opening credits come on in the Disney Castle, the 3-year-old jumps up and down, Disney World, I've been there.
Oh, should we show a picture of him?
Oh, yeah. Do you have it?
I do. There, I'll put it up. There he is. Look, right in front of the castle with that beautiful grandma smiling.
Oh, well, it is. And that's precious, and that's something that Grandma loves. So whether it's Grandma or Mom or Aunt or whoever is doing the planning, there are some incredible benefits to have a magical experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Laura, thank you so much for your vast wisdom on grandparents and Disney, and we are going to be doing more of these series, especially on Disney, as we approach June, which is when we heavily start planning 2021 trips, and we are anticipating a very busy 2021 season for Disney. So if you are interested in getting planning, let me put our info up here. Oops. Oh, it just went to me. Hold on. You can get a hold of Laura. I'll put this here at info@globaldreamvacations.com. That is where you can find all of her information, as well as we do have a resource for you, a complimentary gift from us.
Yes.
In the notes, you will see up above in your post that we have a link to a cheat sheet that we give our clients, which is a 4-part cheat sheet that allows you to see what's available at all 4 parks in one blank. And there's a lot. And so it's something we give our clients to help as they figure out, okay, where do I want to go and what do I want to see and what is there for my group to do. That's something we give out. So make sure you put that link and you put your email in, we'll send you a copy of it. But we are super looking forward to the Disney season, and we will look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you so much, Laura, for joining me today.
You, Mandy. Enjoyed it. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.